Hey, what's up, everybody? So here is Mr. CNN Don Lemon's $5 million Sag Harbor house. It's around 3,500 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. Hey, what's up, everybody?
Don Lemon is one of the rare examples of a black man who didn't just make it inside mainstream media. He became the face of it. Not the sidekick, not the weekend guy, not the diversity hire they roll out for PR. I mean the person sitting in the chair when the country is on fire, speaking directly to millions, shaping the narrative in real time.
So people have been asking me about responding to Nicki Minaj's unhinged, homophobic tweet about me. I usually don't respond to this stuff, but let me just say this. Nicki Minaj, stop talking about shit for which you know nothing about. This is you're out of your depth, by the way, and you are a homophobic bigot. You don't care about African Americans. You're not an African American. From what I know, you are reportedly an undocumented citizen, so you should be deported under Donald Trump's rules. And the other thing is that your family members, you have one family member who is reportedly a sex offender, the other family member, your husband or whatever, a sex offender is your husband, and one of them is reportedly a pedophile. And you have nerve to talk about me and what you think that I do? Nicki Minaj, get a life. Stop being a pick-me. You should have put a pick-me doll on that damn tweet instead of a Chucky doll, because you are nothing but a pick-me. And I choose not to pick you. And so should black people and so should gay people. Shouldn't buy your music. Clock that.
And whether you love him, hate him, or swear you don't watch cable news at all, you still felt his presence. Because Don Lemon wasn't just a journalist. He was a brand. He was a lightning rod. He was a paycheck, and for a long time, he was a very expensive asset. Today, Don Lemon's net worth is estimated around $20 million. And the story behind that number isn't just about salaries and TV ratings. It's about a black man learning how to survive the most unforgiving machine in America, the media industry, where perception is currency, mistakes are amplified, and once the spotlight turns on you, you don't get to be just human anymore. So, how did Don Lemon go from Baton Rouge to a multi-million-dollar primetime seat at CNN, and then to one of the biggest settlement headlines in broadcasting? Let's break it down. Don Lemon was born March 1st, 1966, in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, raised in a Creole household. Early on, he was the kid people noticed, enough to be voted class president. That matters because it tells you something. Even before he became famous, he had that front-of-the-room energy. But like a lot of black success stories, there's always a second layer people don't see. Don later spoke publicly about being sexually abused as a child and not telling anyone until he was much older. Now, I'm not here to turn this into a trauma documentary, but I am telling you this because it matters to the blueprint. Because when somebody grows up learning they have to carry heavy truths quietly, it often creates two things: an insane work ethic, because being excellent becomes protection; a need for control, because control is how you survive chaos. And Don Lemon's entire career is built on both. Don didn't wake up one day and get CNN. He built his resume the way old-school broadcasters had to: local stations, grinding, moving city to city, building credibility brick by brick. He attended Louisiana State University, later transferred, and eventually earned a journalism degree at Brooklyn College in New York. And here's what people miss. While he was still coming up, he worked behind the scenes as a news assistant at a Fox affiliate, learning how the machine works from the inside. That's important, because people who only chase fame don't do that. People who want longevity do. After that, he worked as a correspondent and anchor in multiple markets, including NBC affiliates, and eventually appeared on big national platforms like Today and NBC Nightly News. He also won major awards early, including an Edward R. Murrow Award for coverage of the DC sniper case and Hurricane Katrina reporting, plus multiple Emmys during his time in local news. That's not just a flex. Awards are leverage in this business. Awards tell executives, this person isn't just popular, he's credentialed. Don Lemon was stacking leverage. In 2006, Don Lemon joined CNN. And CNN is not just a job. CNN is a platform that can turn you into a household name, or destroy your reputation in public. Don eventually became host of what was known as CNN Tonight, later branded as Don Lemon Tonight, and held that primetime seat for years. That chair is a money printer, because prime time is where networks sell influence and advertising. At his peak, Don Lemon reportedly earned $7 million per year. Let that sink in. That means every month, the network was basically paying him what most people don't see in multiple years. And that paycheck wasn't because he was nice. It wasn't because he was safe. It was because he drew attention, and attention is the real product. This is one of the most important built-in black lessons of Don Lemon's story. Your value goes up when you become impossible to ignore. Don wasn't just delivering news, he was delivering a point of view. He was debate fuel. He was headline bait. He was a conversation starter. And networks love that, because controversy keeps people watching. But here's the downside. When your brand becomes attention doesn't always come in the form you want. Don Lemon became known for being outspoken and direct, sometimes praised, sometimes criticized. When you're a black man in that seat, you're also carrying something else. You're not allowed to be average, and you're definitely not allowed to be messy. Because when you're a prominent black figure in a mainstream institution, the margin for error is microscopic. The minute you slip, it becomes a referendum, not just on you, but on whether you deserve the platform at all. So when things started getting complicated at CNN, leadership changes, programming shifts, public backlash, it wasn't just about Don Lemon as a person. It was about Don Lemon as an asset. Don Lemon was fired from CNN on April 24, 2023, after 17 years at the network. And here's where the money story gets crazy. In February 2024, CNN reportedly paid Don Lemon a $24.5 million settlement, said to represent what he would have earned under the remaining years of his contract. That's the part people need to understand. Even when a network fires you, if your contract is structured right, you can still get paid. That settlement implies CNN didn't just remove a host, they paid the cost of ending a high-value business relationship. And if you do the math, it lines up with the reported peak salary, roughly $7 million per year. This is the business lesson right here. Contracts are generational wealth tools, not just for athletes, not just for rappers, for media personalities too. Don Lemon walked away from the biggest chapter of his career with what most people would call life-changing money. But the story wasn't over. After CNN, Don reportedly signed a deal with Elon Musk's platform, Twitter/X, that would pay a base salary around $1.5 million per year, plus a cut of ad revenue. That would have been Don's pivot from network employee to platform-owned media. And that's a huge shift, because it's not just about being an anchor, it's about owning your distribution. But the deal reportedly fell apart almost immediately after Don interviewed Elon Musk and asked questions Elon didn't appreciate. After that, the contract was allegedly canceled, and later, Don filed a breach of contract lawsuit in August 2024. Now, I'm going to be careful here. I'm not declaring anyone right or wrong. I'm saying what articles provided describes that the deal was canceled quickly and a lawsuit followed. But the bigger point is this. Don Lemon tried to do what every smart modern media figure is trying to do now. Get off the leash. Own the platform relationship. Stop being controlled by corporate executives. And that attempt showed the new truth about media. Even outside networks, power is still power. If you only look at Don Lemon's net worth, you'll miss the bigger story. Yes, he built wealth through a high-paying primetime salary, awards that increased his market value, contracts that protected him, a settlement that paid out big after termination, real estate investments, including properties in Harlem and Sag Harbor, with values in the millions. But the real lesson is deeper than money. Don Lemon represents a very specific black blueprint. Master the skill: journalism, storytelling, live TV pressure. Build credibility, awards, market experience, national exposure. Become the brand, primetime identity, name recognition. Negotiate protection, contracts, leverage, settlement power. Pivot toward ownership. Platform moves, independent media, brand control. That's not just broadcasting. That's black wealth strategy inside a system that was never designed to give black men the microphone. Don Lemon's career proves something a lot of people don't want to admit. You can be polarizing and still be valuable. You can be criticized and still get paid. You can lose the job and still win the contract. And you can leave the machine and still walk away with the money. Now, whether Don Lemon's next chapter becomes a full independent media empire or something quieter, the legacy is already written. A black man from Louisiana became a primetime face of CNN, made millions per year, won major awards, and when the relationship ended, the payout was so big it became part of the headline. That's not just success, that's leverage. That's the power of becoming too visible to ignore. and too expensive to erase quietly. This is built in black. And Don Lemon, he's proof that even inside the most corporate rooms in America, black influence can still cash out.